This is qualifier 2 in the cup competition of the Hong Kong Sixes. Change of bowling, Boast then. Another tall South African. Strong man. But as we've seen throughout this Hong Kong Sixes, hold your shape, hit down the ground.
Can't bowl step hit. You've got to get your length absolutely perfect. Anywhere in that vicinity, we've seen going over and over again for 6.
6 sixes, and he's on 38 with 8 deliveries. This is just brilliant from McClark.
Play and miss. 12 balls is the quickest 50 so far. Coming off a 3-for in that previous game. 3 for 3 against New Zealand. Seen some excellent catches throughout this competition so far. That one just played around a straight delivery. Good from the big tall South African. Oh, and a bit of pace. Little bit of pace. Half an appeal. Keep your eye on whether he's going to be given one for the over.
It's good pace. Digs it in. The height is absolutely perfect. An absolutely perfect bouncer there.
Was he given one for the over? I think that looked fine. It looked like it went through underneath shoulder height. Let him have another one. Go again. Bowl him another bumper, as you'd say in Australia. Maybe call it a little bit different, the sniff ball. Australia, if you're just joining us, are through to the semi-finals. Boast is that South Africa's leading wicket taker in the 2022 Under-19 World Cup. 10 wickets.
They get some real pace. Boast. That bouncer. Absolute pearler, that one. Clark. He's been kept quiet for the last 3 deliveries.
Inside edge, there's a big gap there. Yeah, Matthew Boast. Joint most expensive signing in the SA20 auction in 2024. Pretoria Capitals. Strike rate with the bat early on in his T20 career, 180 strike rate. You'd be signing him.
No doubt, especially with the bowling being more than handy.
Left-handed batter as well. He may have to bowl that. No, good. Like that from the umpire. Good way to finish. Pakistan get the 50 up. 53 for 2. A lot of upsets we've seen in day 2 of the Hong Kong Sixes. Nepal beat Australia first game. UAE, well, they just got through against India. Oman beating New Zealand. Big game against England versus India. England win their first game of the competition. The winless Indian team, they'll go on the march and try and win again today. Or win one today, I should say. Swanepoel. Not sure the batter realised what was happening there with his action. First time we've seen him bowl. That's all right. That is all right. Doesn't matter about your action in this form of the game. You don't need to have a perfect wrist position. Do something that gets the ball under the bat and it doesn't go out the park.
A good couple of deliveries from Swanepoel. Clark, he'll be eyeing 6s here.
High in the air. There's a big gap there. The keeper tries to get under it. He's not going to get under it. Can he stop the boundary? No. Swanepoel is 35 years old, right-handed batter as well. Comes from Kimberley in South Africa. Hot there. Lots of diamonds as well there. Beautiful place to visit. Here's one for you. Your stats, people. Shares a birthday with Moeen Ali and Kyle Abbott. Wow, I must make a note of that. Remember that. Qualifier 2, if you're just joining us. Chance to go through to the semi-finals with someone who has joined us in commentary right now. Captain of Australia. There's too many Australians, I think, around here. Congratulations, Dan Christian.
Thanks, Corky. It was a nice win. Hong Kong played beautifully. And it's a pretty tough format to try and defend a total. So, yeah, very happy.
Form-wise, you're going well yourself.
Going okay. It's nice when there's no fielders. And the wicket's really, really good, and the boundary's pretty small.
Apart from when you bowl.
Apart from when I bowl, yeah, I've got no interest in bowling out there. It's too hard. Not when there's any, you don't know where your fielders are going to go, and it's only got to go 50-odd metres, just like that one did.
50 up then for Aklak. Excellent innings, 16 balls, 7 sixes in that inning, strike rate of 331. He's going to have to retire for his 53. Pakistan 66 for 2 after the 4th. Yeah, it's good to have Dan Christian with us in the commentary. Decent 113 runs so far in the comp. And a semi-final place for the Aussies.
Yeah, pretty happy. We've played some decent cricket. We were very good against England. Probably not so great this morning in our first game, but yeah, great win against Hong Kong in that quarterfinal.
Now that you've played a few games, are you getting the formula? Do you think about the fielding placements? Are we coming to something where you're confident in what you're doing?
No, not at all. It's pretty hard. One thing we have found is our spinners have been fantastic. The seamers, it's been really difficult for the seamers, myself and then James Pattinson and Andrew Feckerty. Because even when you do bowl a good ball, it's easy enough to nick it or edge it for 4 or 6, whereas the spinners have been really effective for us.
Just to remind you, Ryan Campbell backed Hong Kong to beat you in the quarterfinals, by the way. I don't want to just mention that. All of a sudden, that Aussie accent went up a bit when you came in, but he was back in Hong Kong. This is massive, huge. Seen so many of these throughout the first day and a half.
So you beat me harsh, Dominic Cork, but I had a foot in both camps. But, you know, you've got to go for the underdog. You us Aussies, but it's beautiful batting that. Some of the sixes we've seen hit today, they're massive.
Yeah, I know I said it's a small ground, but most of these sixes are probably 6 anywhere. Adelaide Oval, MCG, some of the biggest grounds in the world. There's been some very, very clean striking.
Smash straight back down for a 6, low. Only has to go 42 metres. Just a bit of pace on them from Sneyman.
You know, like we asked about getting comfortable with, you know, field positions and stuff. What's a score? What's a score that you're comfortable with?
I think anything over 120 seems to be, you know, a half decent score. 20 and over.
5 overs gone, 85 for 2. Lovely cuisine you get in Hong Kong. Wherever you go, food markets everywhere. And some excellent cricket. So if you're in the area, Kowloon, get yourself down here. Come and watch some of the world's best sixes cricketers. Got one beside us, captain of Australia. It's so hard to say that as an Englishman as well. Through my teeth, I'm saying it. Boast is going to bowl his second over. Decent first over. Pace on. But you talked about how well your team is playing. I talked about how well you're playing. Talk us through this innings from yourself.
Yeah, nice to get a couple away. They bowled pretty well. The Hong Kong guys got a few Yorkers in there. It's just a case of, in this format, trying to stay as still as you possibly can and really wait for that ball that's in your slot and try not to swing too hard at it. So, yeah, nice to get hold of a couple.
Yeah, he played well. Big gap out on the offside, but he's not going to get it. It's going to go straight to the fielder. Pakistan in a little bit of trouble here. They've lost their third. And Amir goes.
Boast, he keeps taking wickets. We've seen that the whole time. And as they keep putting Pakistan under pressure, they lose another. Yemen's gone 18 off just 6 deliveries, and Pakistan are 86 for 3.
Shahab Khan then in at number 5 for Pakistan, qualifier 2. A chance to go through to the semi-finals in the Cup competition. As he picked out the fielder again, no, just be one bounce. Been here before, Dan Christian back in 2005, you'll know, I know you love your stats. Aussies have only ever won the Hong Kong Sixes in 2010. You beat Pakistan in the final. You're just one game away from reaching that final.
Yeah, just the one game away, as you say. Corky, the winner of this one. And they've both been playing some really good cricket. Extraordinary game of cricket, that 2010 final. The Aussies needed 45 off 8 balls, something like that. David Warner and Glenn Maxwell and a couple others did very well that day.
A couple of decent players then, really.
Yeah, they turned out all right, those two, didn't they?
Left hand, right hand as well. Lovely combination. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you come back when you've won that semi-final and you get in the final. Come back and join us here.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It's been a fantastic couple of days here in Hong Kong. Thanks to everyone for having us. We've really enjoyed it, and the cricket's been fantastic.
Yeah, thanks a lot to Dan Christian, and good luck in that semi-final. Smash back over his head. Boast went into that surface, and they're closing in on 100. Whether it's enough, Ryan Campbell, I'm not so sure.
Well, I'm not so sure either, but what I will say in their defence is their bowling attack is very good. We know that. They've got a lot of paces. They don't really go to spin too often, but they'll still back themselves to be competitive here.
13 sixes in this innings so far. It's last ball. Can they finish it off with a maximum? You bet they can. What a shot to bring up the 100 to finish the innings in qualifier 2. So Pakistan, who were put into bat first. John Smuts won the toss a little bit early. He'll have to run off and go and get his pads on. But a nice way to finish this qualifier 2 first innings. 105 for 3, Pakistan. Akhlaq was the pick for Pakistan in qualifier 2, 53 from 16. Talat, impressive, 27 from 11, finish it off with 3 sixes, 20 from the last over. And Pakistan, well, they've set a total, 105 for 3. Didn't start well, though.
No, they didn't. They lost some early wickets, and that really put them under the pressure. But Akhlaq was absolutely outstanding. From one end, he literally dominated the bowling from South Africa. They had no answers to what he came out. His beautiful swing of the bat, and his sixes, when he hits them, they go a long, long way.
2 wickets for Jones in that first over. Expensive from the captain, Smuts. At one stage we thought we were going to see another 6 sixes, a wicket for Boast. And impressive from Swanepoel as well, his first over in the competition. So qualifier 2 are halfway through. Quarter-final 2, I should say. South Africa, well, they require 106 from 36 balls and just over 17 and a half and over. Of course, there's more matches coming your way. It is the bowl group match 3. New Zealand versus India. A toss happened a while ago with Brad Hogg. India, who are still winless in this competition. You cannot believe that with the side they've got. They nearly lost the coin. It went that far off. Hoggy nearly had to run after it. India won the toss, and they're Robin Uttapa, Chifley, Goswami, Yadav, Binny and Shabazz Nadeem, Bell, McIntyre, Kapoor, Dixit, Cassidy, Astle. India won the toss and decided to have a bowl first, even though stats should be telling them to chase. Last 6 matches, teams batting first have won the game. Let's see whether it stays with that. South Africa have a chance here. 105 for 3. Not one of the biggest targets we've seen, Niall O'Brien, who takes his seat. But with this man, John Smuts, he's a quality player.
Yeah, the general consensus with the South Africans at the mid-innings break, just hanging around pitch side, was they walked off pretty happy. Even though there was a couple of maximums at the back end of that final over, they feel like they've got Pakistan under par. So an opportunity, 2 very strong sides. Pakistan with a wonderfully attacking bowling units, and then South Africa got some real power. Jacques Snyman missed out the last game, but he could tonk it. And JJ Smuts is probably as good an all-rounder as any in this tournament. Bowls well, bats well, and leads well. So this should be an epic encounter of 2 powerhouses in the history of the Hong Kong Sixers.
You love your stats, I know you do. For everybody out there, I've got a beautiful stat for you. John Smuts. It's on Jacques Snyman. Born on the very same day, 10th of May 1994. Nelson Mandela became Prime Minister of South Africa. I had the privilege and the honour to meet him in 1995 when England returned to South Africa to play Test match cricket. What an honour it was for not just me, the whole of the England cricket team, to meet the great man Nelson Mandela. 106 then. Short delivery straight into our commentary box window. Little bit of pace. We know Shahab has pace, but a good start for South Africa.
Yeah, aggressive from the pace man into the ribs of Snyman, who just gets enough. This is a big battle, this first over. Can he swing a couple back in and attack the stumps of Jacques Snyman, who likes hitting down the ground? He doesn't move his feet a great deal. He likes to stand still and back his brute force.
That's a decent delivery, you're right. Big high backlift, he's waiting. Most South Africans, when you talk about South African batters, because there's a bit of pace in their pitches, they love to cut and pull the ball. Think of some of the greats. We had 2 that came over from South Africa who played a lot in England, Robin Smith and Alan Lamb. We watch little clips of them, cuts, pulls.
Yeah, I saw Leg on Saturday, Leg Lamb. I saw him in my local coffee shop.
What a player, what a
Great
man.
player.
I know he's been through a little bit of problems health-wise. Hope he's okay and getting better. What a shot. Typical South African, picking up on length really quickly and smashed out of the ground.
That travelled a distance. That's the skipper, John Smuts. Yeah, you're going to bowl that length, you've got to fetch it from outside on most occasions. It's all about setting the right tone for Pakistan. They needed to get the first over right on the money, but so far 11 of the first 3.
just lost his shape a little bit. And let's listen from the South African captain.
Yeah, look, it's first time captaining a South African team, so a very proud moment for me. You know, it's been a while since I've actually captained. I've had a few years off, so yeah, looking forward to it. It's obviously a unique tournament with a lot of different ways of playing, only having 6 members per team, so yeah, lots to look forward to.
Thankfully, he got his words out better than me. Let's listen to, I should have said. First time he's captained South Africa. I had the privilege of captaining England here. Now has to be out, surely out, given out. Little bit of swing, gone short in the first 5 deliveries. This pace and swing, and Smuts goes.
Well, I asked the question, can he swing the ball back in to the right-hander and attack the stumps and the pads? He's done just that. That's a huge wicket. It's easy as you like. It's plumb in front. Back leg. Umpire says yes. A little nod of the head. And off you go, JJ. Big breakthrough for Pakistan. Smuts gone for 6, 11 for 1.
Litheko then in at number 3. And Shahab Khan, what an over this has been. Conceded a couple of boundaries, but the big wicket of the captain. And a perfect way to finish. You'll be happy with that. The crowd are trying to go for an appeal. That pitch is outside leg stump, but a good over. Just 12 from it. And the South Africa 12 for 1. .106 is what South Africa require, 94 from 30. That's not going to be easy. Pakistan have got a fine bowling unit. Amir Yamin bowled the second over, an excellent first over from Shahab Khan. Most wickets in the 2023 National T20 Cup in Pakistan with 25, and an important wicket in that over, John Smuts. Just sense that Pakistan fancy defending this. You can just sense by how they've set up here, how they've started as well.
It's been a perfect start. After the first 3 deliveries where they go away 11 runs, they came back quite strongly in the previous over, and a good start to the second over as well. Just need to keep picking wickets here.
They keep taking wickets, and it's the big wicket of Snyman. Little bit of pace off. We thought was 105 going to be enough, and with 2 wickets in the first 2 overs, they're in control of this game, Pakistan.
He's a quality cricketer. Amir Yamin. A little bit of angle in as well, attacking the stumps. Brilliant from Pakistan. What a start with the ball. Jacques Snyman must go, trudges off for 5, and South Africa in a bit of a hole, 13 for 2.
Evan Jones then in at 4. South Africa under pressure, in big trouble at the moment. They need someone to get in. Now then, as he picks out the man, no, little bit too straight. Fahim Ashraf was straight. 2 wickets in the first 8 balls. Decent delivery this.
That's a perfect delivery. A bit of pace, just tailing into the right-hander. And that's a big wicket as well. Can they change the trend? The trend has been bat first and win.
Outside edge, this will run away. One mode for Jones. Swing yourself off your feet and see how far you can hit it.
Well, that's the nature of the beast, I'm afraid. Nothing wrong with the ball. It's a thick outside edge, and with only 4 fielders, fortune favouring Jones. 10 from 2, striking at 500.
Well, he's dangerous with the bat in T20 cricket. He strikes a 4 or a 6 every 6.2 deliveries. Not sure that 0.2, if you can bowl a 0.2 delivery, but every 6.2 deliveries, he hits a 4 or a 6.
I think Chris Gale in his pomp was hitting a boundary every 4.6 balls in the power play. So anything in and around that's impressive.
Yeah, he was quite good, that man. Still is. Plays a little bit of Legends cricket around the world now. In the air, maybe into the gap as well. Nearly a collision. Should have perhaps saved it. Was a bit worried about being hit by the captain who was coming at him. 2 overs are done. South Africa 28 for 2. Qualifier 2 then. Pakistan who put into bat 105 for 3. 53 from Akhlaq. And in reply, well, they've got a couple of wickets in South Africa and they need something big in the next over. 78 from 24. Required rate just under 20, 19 and a half. Going to go with his second over straight away. So on the attack, I like this from Fahim Ashraf. Get the game done and put South Africa under pressure. Hit out on the offside. Off balance. He's a tall man. I told you how dangerous he is and how many boundaries he scores every 6.2 deliveries.
Yeah, that's some hit. Look at the reach. Down on his knees and still managed to get enough to get it up and over. Extra cover.
4 balls, 17 runs, 2 sixes, 1 4 then in his innings so far. That'll just be 1.
I feel like for bowling to Jones, you want to try and keep it out of his reach because he's tall man, as you mentioned, those long levers. So that wide Yorker or else jamming a straight Yorker in. Ideally the thick up. Powerfully built. Stood beside him last night. He is strong. He's muscly.
He tries to just scoop this. I think it comes off his glove.
Maybe just a slower ball potentially. What's happening here? What's the conversation here? Stuart Binney, we haven't won a game.
I'll tell you what the conversation is how can we win? Then they're up against New Zealand. We don't talk about that test series at the moment in New Zealand, what's going on in India. New Zealand. Last test match in Mumbai. Going on right at the moment. New Zealand, I think, ahead in the series, aren't they?
Mitch Santner. On Mitch Santner's socials, it says part-time cricketer on his socials. Mitch Santner, full-time golfer, and he's just taking wickets for fun. The part-timer.
There's a lot of interesting conversations around the world about India and how they're playing spin at the moment. Certainly isn't Rachin Ravindra. I'm sure New Zealand would have liked him to be here. He's a decent player. I'll have to bowl that again.
Yes, our good friend Simon Dool was quoted in many media places about the India's, well, struggles against spin, and a lot of people in the Indian media and the Indian networks backing up Simon Dool and saying, spot on. That's been a concern and been mentioned for a while now, in India's inability to play spin. It's interesting to see how that goes, that final test match in Mumbai.
That's a good length. Really good length.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And it's mostly on the ranked turners. It's not the problem playing spin. It's playing spin on turners. That's been a concern. It shouldn't be, really, given they bat so much on these conditions. So that's one area that definitely have to look in hard.
'18 home series India have won until this one. New Zealand, they're always underrated. Never understand that in any New Zealand sport. They just dominate at times, rugby especially. Not giving it wide. Good decision from the umpire. Good over as well, just 12 runs from it. South Africa struggling, 40 for 2.
Right arm over to you.
That game is to come. New Zealand versus India. India won the toss and decided to have a bowl first. This is the bowl group match number 3. Both teams are looking for their first win. Captain into the attack and smashed. First ball down the ground. Pace on. Surprise, he put pace on.
They need a very big over. Required rate has gone over 21 now, but that's a proper hit. Again, that length, you got to get under the bat, go as full as possible.
Well, with only 100.
Proper hit. Again, that length, you got to get under the bat, go as full as possible.
Well, with only 105. He's putting pace on this time with a bit of width, and guess what? Back-to-back maximums.
Brings up the 50. Rate's only 20 and over. I say only 20 and over. That's very gettable. Swinging himself off his feet here. Jones, that's his 4th 6. And Ashraf with pace on and with the ball can...
Proper hit. Again, that length, you got to get under the bat, go as full as possible.
Well, with only 105 on the